I've been working with Rob since '01, and from the very first time that I saw him, I was like, okay, best bass player I know. Simple as this. Super impressive, and he's well-rounded in all areas of greatness. And just so get in.
No pressure.
Just so you better be good, Mr. Rob Gourlay.
Kind of the theme of what we're going to talk about today is going to be transcription. That's been a huge turning point in my musical development, and thanks to this guy over here, who I came to. Tim kind of alluded to it before, but I kind of like somebody was saying this morning, had always grown up as a rock player and funk and things like that, and went to Berkeley at one point for a while. And just got bombarded with all of these scales and this and that and all this information that I thought, wow, I feel this doesn't feel a part of me at all. I don't understand what they're talking about. Tons and tons of information. So I went out of there with this idea that jazz is this really mysterious stuff that's way over here somewhere that I don't have the particular credentials to play. And so I bought a lot of books and checked out a lot of different things over the years. Even though it wasn't the music I was playing, trying to kind of check out some new things and learn, and it was always kind of just drove me crazy that I didn't play it. So really pretty late along, as a student for Jim, I think even somebody older to come through and be still like, what's the deal with this? I came to him and the first thing was like, well, you haven't listened to the music, you haven't experienced it in that way, and the first thing he did was have me start transcribing stuff, starting with some walking lines, starting with some solos, different stuff, and it was like everything I had ever learned before that. I had learned rock songs, listened to it. We talked about this in one of the classes yesterday about how there were, at that time, back in the dark ages, there wasn't any information anyway, so if you wanted to play the tunes, you had to put those great big, albums that they were talking about on and listen to them. And I remember, and everything I'd ever learned, I did that approach with. Until it came to jazz, and for some reason I thought that because of this kind of stuff that I had gathered at Berkeley and that, and through some other teachers, that I just couldn't figure out how to get a handle on that. And so going to Jim and having him say, well, you listen to music, you got to transcribe it, was a complete duh. It's like every bit of music I'd ever done, I've done that way. So Jim saw that in about 30 seconds and started working on transcribing stuff. Yeah, he basically, and the other part of it was I came in with this pretty big, thick book of stuff that I've been working on. And he had me play a little bit. And he's looking through and he's going, yeah, okay. And then he takes the whole thing and goes, we won't be using any of this. And just kind of sets it down, which was, stuff from tons of different teachers, tons of different, and it was all information. And it wasn't so much that it wasn't valid stuff, it was just going nowhere. It was like that particular aspect of it. And then we're talking, like Jim said before, chord scales, all of this stuff. I mean, I don't know. It was just a nightmare. And I think probably a lot of you have had that same experience. And the thing is that you think it's you. You think like, well, you know what? I must have like some kind of ingredient that God didn't give me for the jazz.
Character flaw.
It's like, oh well. And basically, just like anything in music, it's something that we haven't checked out. We haven't listened to it. We haven't looked into it. Like Dan was saying, just listening to the stuff. So it seems like a really basic thing, but it took me a long time to figure it out. It wasn't until he kind of, slapped me across the head to kind of do it. So when I started transcribing, it was pretty difficult compared to the stuff that I had done before. It was really, because like when you were rock bass lines and things, at first you can't hear this stuff at all. But I mean, you're talking about pretty simple things. So once you get it, you're like, okay, cool. There was such a gap between that and the other music that I didn't realize that all it was you got to keep doing it.